Hi, we're here to make the fermented vegetables. So to start with, it's good to know that preparation is your key. So you're going to want to have some sort of food processor, a juicer, large bowls to put all this stuff in once it's processed. You're going to want to have 4 to 6 wide mouth ball or mason jars. The reason why you have the wide mouth is so you can put your fist in or some device to pack the vegetables down after they're made. You're going to want to have filtered water. The ingredients will be, to start with, the culture starter kit, some organic honey. You want to have all organic vegetables. So we're going to have celery to juice, carrots, cucumbers, peppers, Granny Smith apple. Cabbage is going to be the main ingredient in there. You're going to want to get the dense, heavier cabbage, green cabbage. The reason you want to get the heavier one is because as you shred it up, the one that's not so dense, what happens is the bacteria starts to make a mush out of them. So the heavier, dense one hold up a lot better. You're going to have organic kale and parsley. Now keep in mind, we're trying to create an environment in which bacteria can strive. It's a good bacteria that we're putting in here. So the reason you want to get all organic is because if you're using conventional or non-organic vegetables, they have pesticides in them. And what happens is the pesticides are going to kill the bacteria that we're trying to create. The other thing you want to keep in mind is not to use any tap water. So if you don't have a filter at your sink, then either use bottled water, preferably in glass bottle, so that the chlorine doesn't also kill the bacteria you're trying to create. Now that goes for everything. So if you're washing vegetables or you're washing your hands, you don't want to get any chlorinated water into your vegetables. The other thing you want to do is put the vegetables out overnight so that they're at room temperature, not so cold that it will startle the bacteria and not make them grow so well. Okay, so to start with, we're going to take the culture starter and put it in about a half a cup of water. The water is going to be 90 degrees. Now, keep in mind, that's about 10 degrees less than your body temperature. So the water shouldn't feel at all warm to you. So what we're going to do is cut open one of these packages. Well, first let's put the honey in. I'm going to use about a little less than a tablespoon of honey. Now what this does, it's going to get the bacteria going. Okay, so you're going to let that sit for about 20 minutes while we prep all the other food. If you want to make yours a little bit more spicy, you can add garlic, onion, hot pepper, and ginger. You don't need a lot of them, just a little bit, because the taste can become overwhelming with any of those ingredients. You're going to want to take about 10 leaves of cabbage off to start, so that when you are finished, you can roll up the leaves and put them on top of the mixture so that all the vegetables stay underneath the celery juice. This keeps the air out and makes an environment where the bacteria can flourish. So you're going to want to clean all of your vegetables in the pure water. So the easiest way to do that is just to create a bowl or a pot, put the pure water in it, and just rinse them out like that. You're going to want to peel all of your skin. So cucumber, apple, and carrot, just peel the skin right off. Kale tends to have a harder stem, so you're just going to peel off the outside and just use that. So you're going to want to process or chop up all the vegetables, juice the celery. You're going to want to put celery juice in a blender with some of the vegetables, about a handful of them, to get the culture started. Once you're done with that, you're going to take the water that we started out with in step 1 and pour that into the juice. And then you could pour that all over your vegetables. So if you fill up your jars all the way, as much as you can get in there and pack them down, what I like to do is save a little bit of juice on the side so that if I don't have enough in each jar, I add a little bit to it. The idea with this is to pack the vegetables down beneath the celery juice or the brine so that no air is getting into where the bacteria is. So then you take your leaves and you create a barrier that keeps the vegetables underneath the juice, just like that. Then you just put the lid on and you're done. So here's how they look now, and we're going to see how they look after a couple weeks of fermenting. When you close the lid on these for the first time, you want to close them loosely so that they're vented. The process of fermentation produces carbon dioxide, and the gas needs to be released, which is forced out along with some of the juice. So for the first 24 to 48 hours, I keep them in a pot like this in order to catch the juice from getting all over, as you can see there. Then you can store them in a warm cabinet or a cooler at about 70 degrees for 5 to 14 days. After that, you can refrigerate to stop the further fermentation, or you can leave them out like I do as long as you want to ferment further, but the taste becomes stronger. It's been about 2 weeks, and essentially what's happened is the vegetables are fade a little bit. When you open this up, just move the cabbage leaf aside, take out what you want and put it in a plate or something like that and eat it from there. What you don't want to do is eat directly from the jar into your mouth and then back into the jar, because what that'll do is introduce bacteria from your mouth into the jar. You want to have about a quarter or a half a teaspoon to start, especially if this is your first time, because you want to see what kind of healing crisis you go through. You could have some digestion problems or stomach, something like that. You want to work your way up to having about a quarter a cup per day. And then eventually, after a month or so, you want to work your way to having a quarter a cup per meal. So that'd be about 3 times a day. So I hope this works well for you. Good luck. Hope you enjoy it.